So last weekend I did a little bit of traveling and it made me remember how annoying flying is. I'll seriously never understand the people who are like, oh, I love to travel. Like, what's so fun about sitting down in an uncomfortable seat, having your ears pop, and having to go through tons of security? I swear to God, those people have to be masochists. TSA is literally one of the most annoying things in the world. Those people take their jobs so seriously for no reason. Like, these people actually think they're tough or something. Like, bro, all you did was take away a bottle of apple juice from a toddler because it was like 0.0001 ounce above the limit. Calm your tits, bro. And by the way, I understand why security is so heavy. That isn't my problem. My problem is the people who work for TSA that are just dickheads for no reason. Like, I get it. 9/11 happened. That was one of the most tragic events in our country's history, and thousands of lives were lost. So I get why everything is so strict now. What I don't get is why all the TSA agents have an attitude. I was going through security to come home, right? And I get to the point where they give you the bin and they make you take your stuff off and put them there. And while I was walking up, I was expecting the man there to tell me what to do like usual, because I don't remember the rules to this, and it changes every single time. Sometimes they make you take your shoes off, sometimes they let you keep your shoes on, sometimes you can keep your belt on, sometimes you gotta take your belt off. So I'm just waiting for the instructions, right? But bro was basically ignoring me until I go, so what do you want me to do? And he told me all I needed to put in the bin was everything bigger than a cell phone. So I did that, and then I took my jacket off and I put it in there too. Then I start to walk away, and out of nowhere, all these little girls, like 4'11" TSA girls, start yelling at me to empty my pockets. So I come back, I put everything in the bin, and then I walk through the machine. But I left my belt on because nobody told me what to do. So when I walk through it, there's just this tall ass old man that just looks at me and says, "The machine detected metal near your pelvic area, so I'm gonna pat you down there." So basically, I got touched by an old man at TSA for wearing a belt. Now, before you call me an idiot, it was like 5 in the morning, and I had woken up at 3 off of like 2 hours of sleep. So don't judge me. The actual flights themselves aren't really that bad. Like, they can be a little bit scary if you're scared of flying. Shout out to all my New Yorkers. But they aren't that bad. The worst part of flying just has to be the planes themselves. The windows are arranged in like the dumbest way ever. It's like they put the windows in first, then they crammed as many seats as they could into the plane so that they could sell more tickets per plane. Oh, that makes sense. No, but seriously, it's so confusing. Sometimes you get a full window that's perfectly in your row, and other times you'll get half a window that's 90% blocked by the person in front of you. And speaking of seats, oh my god, it's like they purposely made these chairs to be the most uncomfortable chairs in the world. No cushion, no legroom in front of you, no space between other passengers. Like, you better hope you don't have to use the bathroom during the flight unless you're on the aisle seat. I remember one time I really had to go pee, but I was in the window seat. And that was the most uncomfortable thing ever, bro. Leaving the window seat in an airplane while you have the people next to you is basically like giving a private lap dance to them. It's either that or you're low-key just putting your meat in their face. Like, it's so weird just standing up in that awkward silence, no noise except for the plane engine, and then just shuffling your dumb ass out of the seats while giving them that look that just says, "I'm sorry." Then coming back isn't any better because you have to do the same thing, but then sit next to those people that you violated and act like nothing happened. If you sit in the middle seat though, I really feel bad for you. If you're sitting in the middle seat, you're basically just the bitch of that row. You don't have any control over the window, you don't have the leg space from the aisle. All you gotta do is sit your punk ass down and wait for the flight to be over like Daddy's little princess. Like, I know I'm kinda late for this, but speaking of bathrooms, why is it basically impossible to wash your hands in an airplane bathroom? Like, whoever designed those things has to be arrested because it's actually impossible to wash your hands in those things. They got the smallest sink known to mankind, and then a tiny faucet with the pressure of a fire hose. I seriously hate those things so much, especially the little knob that you have to push in order to turn the water on. That shit doesn't even stay on for a second before cutting off on you. So you have to wash your hands one at a time, and when you're finally done, have fun drying your hands because all the millimeter thick paper towels are crammed into the tiny box that you'll never be able to reach inside of to grab one. The worst part about flying though isn't the security or even the actual plane, it's just the overly talkative and friendly strangers. Now, this is just me, but I hate when random people start talking to me when I'm traveling or when I'm doing really anything. I thought this was common knowledge, but having both AirPods in your ear should be a universal do not talk to me sign. But for some reason, this old lady was still trying to talk to me. And she started asking me where I'm from and telling me about her kids and what she's traveling for and and the entire time I'm just screaming in my head, leave me alone! Like, I can handle talking to strangers, I just don't know how to, if that makes sense. I don't know if y'all could tell, but the same guy making YouTube videos by himself has issues talking to people. I know, that shit's crazy. But like, I just don't know what to say or how to say it. And when I do, it usually comes off as me either sounding like a dick or I look really weird. So I just kind of gave up. But anyway, I hate when random people start talking to me because it just ends up making the flight more embarrassing than it would have been if we just stood quiet. Like, I end up looking mean because I don't know what to say. So I'm just going, oh really? Wow. And they just end up staring down the whole flight because they don't want to look at me. Anyway, if you made it to this point in the video and you were wondering, I was going down to Florida this weekend for a wedding. I got to meet some family, so that was cool. I just didn't like the actual traveling part. Thought that was pretty obvious. Also, I tried some Bojangles. That was pretty good. Anyway, that's all I have to say. I'll see you guys next time. Yo, by the way, did you guys know that they started taking the TVs out of airplanes? Like, I remember before, almost every Delta plane had the little TV things, but now all they have is like a holder for your phone. It was probably just to like save money or something, but that still sucks to me. Also, I know I have these problems because I'm poor and I can't get the first class tickets. You don't have to rub it in. I know I'm gonna be broke for like my entire life. Anyway, that's really all I have to say.